Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've been getting a lot of requests lately to do a food prepping video, just to give some ideas of how to food prep. I definitely change it up from week to week. My breakfasts do stay pretty consistent though, so I'm going to be starting out with my breakfast prep. And then I also prep out my lunches for 5 days. So for my work days, it works out really well. And then I also prep out my mid-afternoon snacks. So I have that available. Usually right after work, I'll eat it. So yeah, I'll be starting out with the breakfast. My go-to for sure is boiled eggs, cooked spinach with some Himalayan salt. And then usually I'll do the still cut oatmeal. Sometimes I'll do the rolled oats as well though. Okay, so let's start out with that here first. So I did want to mention before I get started with this too that I'm following a clean eating portion control program. And the key part of this really are these containers. These help me out so much when I'm meal prepping because I use it to measure out the different food groups I can eat in the day. So with fruit, I eat 3 containerfuls a day. With my veggies, I eat 4 containerfuls. My protein, 4 containerfuls. My carbs, 3 containerfuls. My healthy fat, 1 container. And then I have 2 containers of dressing or seeds. And this varies for everyone. So you calculate how many containers of each of the food groups you can have in the day based on your activity level, your weight, and then what your goals are. So some people's goals are to bulk up. Some people's goals are to stay at a similar weight. They just want to improve their overall health by eating more nutritious foods. And then some people's goal is to lose weight. So you calculate this, and this program tells you exactly how many containers you should be having a day. So you don't have to count calories, and you do not have to weigh out your food. This system makes it super quick and easy for meal prepping for sure. And then I use to pack my lunch and my snacks for work. I use these containers here. Well, I put my breakfast in these containers as well. So I'll use this for my veggie servings. My veggie serving is the biggest usually. In breakfast, when I cook up my spinach though, it kind of shrinks down, so I'll use one of these for my veggie. And then I put my carb in one of these smaller spaces here, and my protein in one of the smaller spaces. So yeah, veggie, carb, protein. For my snack, I have my veggies, my fruit, and then whatever I'm using for dipping. So you'll see that later on too. These are really handy. I got them on Amazon. I got quite a few of them for a pretty good deal. So I definitely look on Amazon for that. And the lids are here. And you might be thinking, do I have to cram all sorts of different foods in these tiny containers? Some foods work better with measuring out with the containers for sure. With foods that don't fit in the containers very well, this program actually has a guide on how much of each of those foods you can have. So for example, with the eggs I'm making, I can have 2 eggs. 2 eggs equals 1 protein container. The daily nutrient dense shakes that I drink also, they're considered a protein serving, so they do have whey protein or vegan protein in them, along with so many other nutrients and supplements as well though. But yeah, it counts as one of the proteins for your day. My breakfast meal prep, I always buy this giant container of spinach because I love making spinach with my breakfast as my veggie for the side. But when you cook spinach, it shrinks quite a bit, so you need a lot of spinach if you're gonna prep out for quite a few days. I usually prep out for 5 days for the weekdays. So, and I'll be using my veggie container. I'll be measuring out the spinach that way, and then I'll put it in to be cooked. So I jam as much spinach into this as possible. I'll show you here. So I'm actually gonna spray my pan here. In the pots, I already have water boiling for my eggs and the water boiling for my still cut oatmeal. So here's my veggie container. I just take the spinach and stuff it in there. I stuff it full all the way. So I'll call that one veggie serving. Just gonna throw it in here to cook. And I use my pink Himalayan salt to help season it. I just do a little sprinkle on each. I cook one serving at a time just so I'm measuring it out correctly. And I sprayed my pan with the coconut oil. Yeah, so you see that's really quick. So I'm going to put this in one of my containers. And then I just repeat this 5 times. So midway through cooking the spinach, the still cut oatmeal water is going to be boiling. So as soon as I notice it's boiling, I throw it in. Because it does take a little while for it to cook. It takes 25 to 30 minutes. I usually find it cooks on the lower end though, of that estimate. So I added 5 cups of water, and I'm going to be putting 1 1/4 cups of still cut oats into the boiling water. And once the oats are added in, you reduce the heat to medium-low. And I'll be putting my timer on for 25 minutes. So I'm ready to add the eggs in. So since I'm prepping for 5 days, I'm going to be cooking 10 eggs, 2 eggs per day. And I use my ladle to gently add the eggs to the water. If you kind of just drop it in, they tend to crack pretty easily, especially with the heat too. So I'll show you how I do it here. Now that I have all the eggs added in, I'm at 18 minutes from my oatmeal, so I'll make sure when it goes down to 11 minutes, I'll take the eggs out. So I'm going to be using a strainer to get the eggs out, and then you want to rinse them under cold water immediately to stop the cooking process. Okay, so it has been it went down to 11, so that's been 7 minutes since I put the eggs in, so I'm going to grab them now. I have my strainer. I put it in a larger bowl so when I put the eggs in, the water won't get all over the counter. Okay, I'm going to run them under cool water now. Okay, so I ran them under cool water, so now they're not hot to touch. And I do actually peel my eggs on prep day, because in the morning I do not want to have to deal with peeling them. I like a quick breakfast. So I will do that here next, so I can crack them and peel them. I'm going to salt and pepper the eggs here next. The still cuts are done now. So everything's all done. I just need to measure out my still cut oatmeal with my carb container for each of the containers. So I have my carb container. I'm just gonna measure out the oatmeal in this. So 1 container per container. So for topping the oatmeal, I use coconut palm sugar and also cinnamon. So just a little sprinkle of each on top. In the mornings, so you refrigerate this, and the oatmeal becomes kind of dry. So in the morning I do add like a little bit of almond milk to it before I heat it up. them in the fridge. So a really easy way to prep lunches for the week is to buy a giant package of chicken breast. So this is something I always buy a giant package of chicken breast, and I also always buy a flank steak because that also gives me a lot of meat that I can cook all at once, and then I have multiple meals with that meat that I cook. So I'm going to be cooking up the chicken for my lunches. I've been craving Italian, so I did get some pesto to put on the chicken, and for the carb side I got whole wheat pasta. I'll show you that later. And organic tomato sauce for that as well. For my veggie side for lunch, I'm going to be doing a mixture of broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. I found that I really like to cook them with olive oil. It gives it like a little hint of sweetness, and I still season it with salt and pepper. But I change up my veggie sides and my carb sides from week to week because I do get bored of food pretty easily. So for carbs, for example, I'll use like quinoa or brown rice, whole wheat pasta, sweet potatoes. I did edamame for 1 meal prep week. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many different carbs to choose from. There are healthy versions for sure that you want to pick out. So whole wheat always over white, flour. Vegetables, there's so many different vegetables. So if you're thinking, I don't really like vegetables, I think you just need to branch out and try even more. You will find a veggie you like, I promise. Sometimes it has to do with the way you cook your veggies too and the way you season it, so definitely experiment with that. So I'm gonna salt and pepper my chicken. I did do store-bought pesto instead of making homemade pesto. This weekend has just been crazy, so I don't have as much time for those sort of things. So I got Rana basil pesto. I won't be adding this until later in the cooking process. Once it's closer to being done, I'll pull it out of the oven and put this on the chicken. And salt and pepper both sides. I get bored of chicken easily, so I definitely mix it up from week to week how I season it. So I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. I'm gonna add the chicken in, and then I'm gonna time it for 25 minutes. I'll check it and see how it's looking. So next I'm gonna get my whole wheat pasta going. So I started boiling the water, and I'll be adding this in. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, though, I will be working on my veggies. I try to multitask as much as possible because I don't like spending the whole day in the kitchen when I'm prepping. A lot of times, actually, I'll prep lunch one day and I'll prep breakfast another day and I'll prep my snacks another day, so I'm not doing it all in one day. But yeah, this weekend was too crazy. I didn't get a chance to do that, so I'm doing it all today, and I want to keep it as short and sweet as possible. So I actually already peeled my carrots while I was doing my breakfast prep. So I'm just gonna chop off the ends and then I'll chop it up into slices. I like to chop it kind of at a diagonal, that way the pieces are a little bit longer. You do want to try to make them chunky because I'm going to be cooking this with broccoli and cauliflower. I want to try to make the cooking times similar between the vegetables, so keep that in mind when you're chopping your vegetables on what size you should make them. Nice chunky pieces. So next up I'm going to be adding my broccoli. This is nice because it's already all chopped up, but there are some pieces in here that are pretty large, so I'm going to open up the bag and chop as needed. I'm going to use the whole bag. Do not be afraid to use a ton of veggies when you're prepping. So I have a giant baking sheet over here. I'll show you in a second. But the veggie container is the largest of all the containers, so you use quite a bit of veggies. Even after measuring out for my meals that I have planned, I'm going to measure out for 5 meals. I'll probably have extra veggies, but I'll be able to use these veggies with my dinners, so it'll be nice to have that prepped as well. So you can see this is a giant piece. I'm just going to be cutting the giant ones in half. And the last veggie I'm going to add to my baking sheet is some cauliflower. So my water is boiling now, so I'm going to pause with the vegetables real quick, add the pasta in. It's going to cook for 10 minutes, so I'm going to put my timer on. my veggies. Here's the cauliflower. Giant tray of veggies. So I'm gonna get my coconut oil and oil these up a little, and then I'll put salt and pepper on them as well. And my organic virgin coconut oil. Oil them up here. It does have a nice light coconut taste to it when you use the coconut oil, and it gives it like a slight sweetness. It's really good though, I really enjoy it. So if you haven't tried using coconut oil on your veggies before, I definitely recommend trying it. So I am baking them. I like baking my veggies, and not for as long as some may like baking their veggies. I like my veggies to be crunchy still. But not as crunchy as when they're raw, you know, but pretty crunchy still. I don't like soggy veggies. So I do choose to use Himalayan pink salt because there's a lot of minerals in the Himalayan pink salt compared to just regular salt. So you're adding a lot of the necessary minerals that you need in your day just by seasoning your food with this. I use a different mixture of vegetables every week. I try to mix it up, and different seasonings every week as well. So definitely try out a bunch of different recipes and find your favorites and continue to explore different recipes. So I'm gonna add my veggies into the oven, and I'm gonna pull out the chicken, put pesto on it while I'm doing that too. And I'll check to see how the noodles are doing. Pasta still has 11 minutes. I'm gonna pesto my chicken. So got my pesto. So I'm gonna stick the chicken back in for 10 more minutes. My pasta's actually done, so I'm gonna go ahead and drain that here next. Rinse your pasta once you drain it too, so you can stop the cooking process as well. Same as with the eggs. So I have my cooked pasta. I'm going to be rinsing out my carb container that I use to measure out the oatmeal. I'll be measuring this out into my containers. I'm actually going to cook up the pasta sauce here first before I do that though. So I do have, I got the organic roasted garlic pasta sauce. It has organic diced tomatoes, water, organic tomato paste, extra virgin olive oil, organic roasted garlic, sea salt, organic dehydrated onions, organic distilled vinegar, organic garlic powder, and organic spices. So it's a pretty good mixture of healthy ingredients. I don't have to worry about added sugars. And it uses the extra virgin olive oil, which is nice, and sea salt. So yes, I am happy with the ingredients in the sauce. I am the worst at opening jars. I might have to find my husband here and have him open this for me. Trung? Babe? Oh. He's out walking the dogs, actually, now that I think about it. I'm on my own. Oh my gosh. If any of you guys have any tips or tricks for me on how to open jars more easily, I'm listening, because it's kind of ridiculous how bad I am at opening things. I think part of it too is my wrist strength is not what it used to be. Oh my God, I don't know. Okay, so I'm probably just gonna measure out my pasta here first and wait for my husband to get back from his walk. So you can see I'm using my carb container again to measure out my pasta. So I'll do that for all 5 containers. I turn my oven off, I want to make sure the chicken's cooked all the way through. So here is my cut up prep chicken. So you can see I have a lot of chicken breast. So this will make quite a few meals, which will be pretty nice. So I have my protein container here. You can see how I kind of squeeze the chicken in there. See how much I can eat. So serving protein there. Okay, and then I'm just adding a little pasta sauce to all the noodle servings here. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm going to be adding my veggies to my container. So I'm going to be using my green container again. So you can see I have leftovers of everything here. But I'm going to be using this for our dinner tonight because I am not cooking any more food. I am done. Yeah, so here are my lunches here. And our dinner. I'm going to be prepping my mid-afternoon snack here next. This is my favorite because it's super quick and easy. I did want to mention that you do want a lot of room for all these prepped meals. These are just my lunches, you know, so I have my breakfast stacked up in the back of the fridge. I'm going to be putting this in front of it, and I'm going to have 5 more for my mid-afternoon snack. So for my mid-afternoon snack, I do a serving of vegetables. So I have my radishes, some of that leftover broccoli, and baby carrots. So I just do a mixture of these, measured out in my green container. I'm making 5 mid-afternoon snacks. My mid-afternoon snack also involves fruit, so I always pack an apple, but I cut that in the morning because I don't like how it browns, you know, over time. For the apple, I do a little scoop of peanut butter with that so I can dip my apples. And then for the vegetables, I either pack usually hummus or some organic ranch. I measure it out in my dressing container. Or I do guacamole. So both hummus and guacamole are healthy fat, so you'd be measuring it out with the blue container. This week I did get the single hummus packs. So they're already separated in servings. So that makes this a little bit easier for me. And I do put the peanut butter in the container, but I hold off on the apple until the morning. So you can see I have my my hummus. I have a small scoop of peanut butter for dipping my apples and radishes, my carrots, and my broccoli for dipping in the hummus. So this is my mid-afternoon snack. I eat this immediately when I get off work because sometimes I do work a little later, so ideally I would eat this a little bit earlier. So I eat this, get home, work out, and then I'll eat my dinner. And I did want to mention I do not prep my dinners. So like I said, I get bored of food easily, so I like to mix it up for my dinners. So tonight we are going to eat this just because I don't want to cook anymore. But I have things when I went to the grocery store, I bought things to make a salmon dinner, to make bibimbap, to make steak fajitas, to make turkey wraps, and burgers. So I got myself turkey burgers. I got from beef burger patties, and I use half of the bun with lettuce, and he uses both buns, you know, because he's not quite clean eating, but he eats healthy when I force him to. So that was my plan for dinner, just to give you a few ideas. I like to keep quick things for dinner just in case I don't have as much time to cook, but I do like making my dinners fresh. So I hope that helped. I know it's a little all over the place, but really it's all about knowing how much portions you should be eating in the day, then figuring out how to split that out split it up throughout the day. So I actually eat 6 meals a day. 3 of them are like actual meals, you know, so like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then 3 of them are more like snacks. So I'll usually eat my breakfast, and then I'll drink my shake in mid-morning, and then I'll have my lunch, and then I'll have my mid-afternoon snack, and then I'll have my dinner, and then I have my evening snack, which is usually just a serving of fruit. If you have questions about the cleaning portion control program I'm using, reach out to me. Direct message me, Facebook, Instagram. You can comment below here and I can get in touch. If you want to watch more of my clean eating videos or my home workout videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you did find this video helpful, make sure to like it, and if I helped give you any ideas and you try anything out like this, comment below. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. My dogs like food prep day, especially Loki butt. Huh, Loki? He likes to lay on the ground, wait for food to drop down.